Next week on Home and Away in the UK, Bree is forced to take drastic action to save Tim's life, as a new detective puts Cash under the spotlight. The chaos picks up right where we left off, Justin staring at Cash in disbelief, his mind racing as he struggles to process what on earth has just happened. As Cash clutches his head, struggling to recall the moments leading up to this disaster, Justin wastes no time. He urgently calls for Bree and Remy, who burst out of the house alongside a few estate workers. Bree drops to her knees beside Tim, her fingers trembling slightly as she searches for a pulse. A flicker of hope, weak but present. "He's still with us," she breathes, but her relief is short-lived. With the estate so remote, the ambulance is over an hour away. That leaves Tim's survival in Bree's hands, and she's in for the fight of her life. Justin turns to Cash, desperate for answers. How long has he been like this? But Cash shakes his head, panic creeping into his expression. He doesn't remember. Not a thing. Tension thickens. Bree struggles to focus. She's still on leave after her OCD diagnosis, and the pressure is mounting fast. "Everyone back off," she snaps, needing space to work. Suddenly, Eden and Kirby rush out, their eyes widening in horror as they take in the scene. Tim motionless on the ground, Cash sitting there like a ghost of himself. Shock ripples through them, but there's no time for questions. The estate staff scramble to bring Bree the medical equipment she needs: defibrillator, spinal board. Every second counts. Meanwhile, out at sea, Detective Mark Townsend, Craig Hall, speeds toward the estate in a police boat, his face set like stone as he listens to updates over the radio. The ambulance is still an hour out. He knows what that means: life or death will be decided before they even get there. The moment Townsend steps onto the estate, he sees Bree positioning the defib pads over Tim's chest, praying she won't have to use them. His eyes flick to Cash, who immediately stands. "Detective, I need to protect Eden." Townsend barely spares him a glance before assessing the scene. Eden, unharmed, is being held by Kirby. "She doesn't seem to be in any immediate danger," he states, unimpressed. "What I need to know is what happened here." Justin steps forward, recounting how he found Cash and Tim. Townsend listens intently but zeroes in on one detail. Justin assumed, without hesitation, that Cash was responsible. The air crackles with suspicion. Then, Tim convulses. Bree's heartbeat skyrockets. He's seizing. "We need to relieve the pressure on his skull, or he won't make it." "How?" Remy asks. "There's only one way." Bree's gaze hardens. "I need a drill. Now." A stunned silence. Kirby's breath catches in her throat. She realizes what Bree is planning: a burr hole procedure, a literal last-ditch effort to save Tim's life. "I can help," she blurts out. Bree frowns. "What?" "I did a year of med school before joining Lyric." No time for doubt. Bree nods, and the team scrambles into action. Someone hands Kirby an electric drill. She sterilizes the bit with alcohol as Remy braces Tim's head. All they can do is pray that he doesn't wake up mid-procedure. Tense breaths hold still as Bree drills into Tim's skull, the sound slicing through the night. A collective sigh of relief when the fluid is released. He's stable. For now. Finally, the paramedics arrive, and Bree steps back, shaking. The nightmare isn't over yet. Townsend turns his full attention to Cash. Time for answers. Cash stiffens. "You're wasting time, I told you, Nerda's the real threat. We should be out there looking for her." Bree warns Cash that he may need a CT scan, but he refuses. His focus is on the investigation, but Townsend doesn't entertain his insistence. "Let me be clear," he says coldly. "You're not a cop right now. You're a suspect." Back in Summer Bay, tensions reach boiling point. Eden wrestles with guilt. Was Cash right about Nerida all along? But Remy isn't convinced. "Come on, Eden. Are you really buying into this? I saw Cash and Tim arguing last night." At Northern District's hospital, Rose arrives to question Cash, who still draws a blank. "Why are you so focused on Nerida?" she presses. When she later raises it with Townsend, he shuts her down. "We have more pressing lines of inquiry," he states firmly. But Remy has had enough. Determined to put an end to this, he heads straight to the police station. "You need to hear this," he tells Townsend. And with that, he lays it all out: the weeks leading up to this moment, the tension, the warnings, the erratic behavior. Townsend doesn't hesitate. He gathers the evidence, squares up to Cash, and delivers the words that send shockwaves through Summer Bay. "Cash Newman, you're under arrest." As the handcuffs click into place, the real question lingers: was Cash right all along? Is Eden still in danger?